Good morning, everyone. My name is Sudeep. I'm the support manager in this tech, and welcome everyone for the UAE user conference. Um, our topic today is ArcGIS Enterprise best practice, and along with me, my colleague Mr. Amit. Okay, we both are delivering this session. So the agenda today. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's have a quick overview about our agenda. Our main focus, obviously, for the ArcGIS Enterprise security best practice. And we are going to talk about like the key component of RDS Enterprise, like RDS server and the portal, and some advanced configuration about RDS server and portal that will be covered by Mr. Ahmed. And in case you have any questions in each topics, we can discuss for that at the end. We can. So we strongly recommend, like, if you have some knowledge about the portal and RDS server, I hope everyone has, right? So before we start, I just want to just quick overview about security in general. So everybody is familiar with security. As you can see here, the in the picture, the security is not isn't about it just like one layer, right? It's actually a multiple layer. We can see here application level security, perimeter security, and data security. And the layer security mechanism that increase your security in all of the system, right? So we will talk more about the application security here, where the RGS Enterprise falls under the application security. And before we go, another just have a quick refresher about our RGS Enterprise. As you guys are familiar, that one RGS Enterprise based deployment. These three the main components, the protocol RGS, RGS server, data store, and behind and the front end you have the web adapter for RGS server and the portal. And this is the base deployment. And we are going to talk about mainly the RGS server and portal. And also, I want to discuss some of the few interesting slides here. When you talk about security, so you guys are like you have an RGS server or portal, the enterprise deployment. If you have, you need to actually keep checking the patch notifications. So there is a tool available from Esri. Also, if you are installing in RGS server or the portal, you can see that when there is a check the enterprise updates, you can get all the security patch or the patches available with your RGS server and portal, and also it will show like what the patch already installed. Because you can either install all these patches or you can choose it, and we highly recommend to install all the security patches. Why? Because the security patches which address all the vulnerability issues scanned by your like a security scan and also some bug fixes, and also it will improve some of the performance for your application. So this is very important. Like is keep checking every 2 months or 1 month. You can check this one. Actually, you can see any patches or something is released by Esri. Okay. And another important, maybe you guys are unfamiliar with this one. This is the product lifecycle. So here I'm just focusing here the RGS Enterprise product lifecycle. As you can see here, I highlighted here some of the version from 10.7.1 to 10.9.1. This some of them are retired and some reached to the mature support. What means by the mature support means you will not get any like software patches from it. So if you are reaching the mature support, you will not get it. If you have any new vulnerability games, they will not provide any security patches for that. So we highly recommend those who are running in this version to go with the version like at least the supported version where you can get all the security patches and the general availability support from Esri. And this is the important takeaway from this slide. And let's move to our like the key component for the RGS server. So you guys are familiar, RGS server is the key component where we can in the enterprise where you can publish your map services and all. It will be happening in the RGS server side. So here we are the security in RGS server. So you can see there is one Python script available in the installation directory of RGS server. You can find it in the directory, then server tools. This what it will the security scan tool will do. Like it will evaluate your security configuration. Okay. And it will give you like a result as a report in HTML. And this report we'll have an information about what is the critical your findings and what is important and how it will be look like. You can see here. Once you run that one, it will generate a report, and this report will have the information about what are the findings in your RGS servers in terms of security, and also it will give you a hyperlink. You can see here, like this hyperlink, it will give you the how we can fix this will direct it to Esri website. So we recommend actually you need to either you this same script you can make it as an automated. You can keep running frequently to make sure you don't have any security concern or changes on your adjacent servers. Okay, this is one of the important tool in terms of the security best practice. You need to keep running this. And next one, I just want to, many of you guys are familiar with this RGS server, the administrative directory, where you can do the administrative task or anything for the RGS server side. And also the many of our security configuration you can enable or disable from this like admin API. So the next one, the couple of recommendation for RGS server I will talk about here. One of them is the service directory. So service directory is the web-based interface where you can explore or you are interact with your interact or query with your JS services. So you can see this is called a REST endpoint. Okay, this is very familiar with for the if you those who are a developer, it is a way interact with this REST endpoint. But from the production environment, we are not recommending to enable this like a service directory or if you are exposing your RGS server publicly or something. Okay. So how like when you disable that one, like it will be like that. So like you cannot see any map service, so you cannot browse that one. How you can do this one? You can go to your RGS server, the where I showed you before the slide, the admin directory. You can go to the handler and the rest service directory. There is an option here you can disable the service directory from here. So if you disable that one, then you are like a service cannot be browsed or query from the web interface. So this is one of the recommendation. And the next one is actually the another feature. Okay, this commonly scanned by your security scanners. Actually, is called cross domain request or the CORS. CORS actually basically is unique to the JavaScript application. Is basically like a is a feature in your web browsers that controls how the resource, for example, like your maps or the API or data can be accessed from a different domain. Okay, and as you can see here, like the web browser is requesting an JavaScript application deployed in the portal, and also like in the this like web application is requesting an RGS server deployed in different domain. And this, of course, the RGS server will respond with some response header here that indicate whether this request is allowed based on your configuration. By default, in the cross domain, like by default, the RGS server allow all the domains. So the security best practice, you can only add the trusted domain. You can add it, you can go to the same location where I mentioned, the security in the REST directory. There is an option here. You can see here, you can allow the origin. You can add all the domains where you want to trusted domains to communicate with your RGS server. You can add on. This is also one of the like recommendations from Esri. So add only the trusted domain to the allowed origin. And these are the things about the the RGS server mainly we need to consider. So next I will move to the another important for the portal for RGS. If you have any questions on the RGS servers, we can discuss now in terms of security. Yeah. 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 Basically, the service like directly will be disabled. Okay. So if you know the mistake point and location, still you can access that one. But actually from the browsing page, by default it will be disabled. We can disable the each section of the layer like 0, 1. So the service directly full service it will be like disabled. If you want to do that one, actually maybe in the another security level in the portal, or you can have that from the layer security you can. Or you need to There is another component from third party, like portal is not there. Like there's an access controller. You can control over the like what will be shown. Yeah, this is actually not from Esri. It's a third party tool we use to many customers are using from particular. Okay, we'll talk about that one. If you want more about that one, come to our booth. Yeah. Okay. And the next one is the portal. Yeah, portal also the similar like we have actually you can see there's a similar like RJ server, there's a portal security scan will be the so where we can get all this what I mentioned that one, it will evaluate your security settings and also the similar report the portal also will give and you can based on your environment you can just after fixing all these things you can keep running this one and to check your configuration is correct and all. And the next one, like we want to just talk about the in feature. So in portal, actually, if you are publishing any positive web, any positive feature layer, okay, by default, actually, you can see that one, the who can edit actually the owner or admins and the member of the groups who can edit the services, right? So if your admins in your organization, many admins, okay, it will be allow the admin to access your the content and you can edit, right? So the best recommendation reduce the admins actually from your and chance of editing and also you can see the editing capability by default when you see that one it will allow the add update and delete features will be there by default and also you can see that one what feature can be seen or the editor can see all other features, even they are not edit also. So if you want, they recommend the best practice that one you just actually like if you're the service is a critical service or the sensitive content, so remove the delete and update options. Okay, when you are publishing, and also you can actually the editor can't see the features even they are add-ons. That will disable the query option. Okay, this will reduce the chance of the coding the service and the editing or deleting by the services from your organization from another user. So this is also one feature recommendation. And the next one, you are familiar, your organization decided that one you don't want to publish publicly any services, any content from the user. The user admin can actually disable this option. So this will, for example, accidentally they share everyone they will go to the public, right? So that we can control from here. If there's a recommendation, we can do it from the the admin can do it from the security from the home page. Okay, and these are the things that moving away from the features. Next one, actually, the important thing is the multi-factor authentication. So this is actually introduced in 10.9. Okay, this is basically for your built-in user. It will give you a second layer of security and if you are already using your what do you call your SAML or OpenID collect, this is also which will support the MFA through their external identity provider. So how we can enable this one? Actually, the requirement you need to have two admin accounts and need to have an email configuration. And once you enable this one, so when you use the signing, okay, then there will be an option you can from your mobile app, the any authenticator, you can scan this code and it will provide the key code, like the code. Whenever you log in, you need to put that code. So when you user login, there's an additional level of security. The MFA is like all the latest version from starting from 10.9, we have this. Yeah. This is what Microsoft. Yes, Microsoft or Google Authenticator, anything you can do it. And if you have already like SAML Active Directory account, that already you have that functionality from your Active Directory. So now this for the built-in account, this is introduced from this side as well. And this is one important thing. And next one, similar to the RGS server, here also the portal also having the admin directory. So this also you can from the HTML interface, the user can browse your content and all these things. So this we also here recommend to disable this API, the admin API. So we can do it from here in a different way, like from the server portal admin page, you can update this configuration, disable admin, make it the priority to true, and this will be disabled. Okay, whenever you are like deploying your production environment, better you do this one from the portal as well. And the course, you need to add the trusted domain in the portal is simple, like from your home And setting under the settings, you in the security, you can add all your trusted domains in the course. These are the things for the portal. The mainly, sorry, the mainly for the portal for ArcGIS, we need to consider these are the securities. And do you have any questions on the portal part? Okay. Now, actually, I'll move to the some advanced topic. Actually, maybe like Amir will talk about the advanced topic for portal for ArcGIS and the summer. Good morning, everyone. Salam alaikum. So first topic in our advanced security is the group managed service account. Well, this service account is different from the traditional service account, which we usually use when you're deploying the enterprise. In the traditional account, what we do is the password we set as never expired, and that password we have to enter manually. Okay. And when it comes to group managed service account, this account will be managed by your domain controller. You have to specify the password only once, and you don't have to set the password never expire. Active Directory will periodically 30 days, it will renew your password. So when it comes to security, is way more secure than your traditional service account. So it is recommended to use this one. But the disadvantage is you cannot change the service account when it comes to your upgrade. So you have to stick to the same service account. Second important advanced security thing is the TLS. TLS, as you know, it's a secure communication protocol. And from 10.7.1, 1.0 and 1.1 is no longer available. And 11.x is by default enable 1.3 security protocol. So it is recommended always to use the latest communication protocol, which is either TLS 1.2 or 1.3. Now, the restrict portal proxy capability. By default, this proxy capability will be enabled. Okay, to protect your ArcGIS server from these attack like SSRF attacks and all, it is recommended to disable this one. Now, to disable this, you have to specify your ArcGIS server or URLs. Okay, that will allow the communication only from those servers. Anonymous user, as my colleague said, you might have shared some content publicly by mistakenly. So it is suggested to disable the anonymous user account so they do not access your content. User account, these are some of the best practice for a user account security, enabling the MFA, having a strong password, set a password policy so the user periodically change their password, make an audit on your user account. Maybe an anonymous user is trying to access your user account, trying to attempt multiple times. So disable if accounts trying to access more than a 5 attempt or something. Second is email configuration. We can also schedule this whenever a user try to reset the password or there's any password policy change and all, a user will be notified when the password is set. ArcGIS token. By default, these are the parameters which Esri has given the password expiry for the token. Okay, you might use this token expiry when it comes to the development integration where a developer is using a token for 24 hours or something. So to enhance the security, if required, you can reduce the token number. So it will be more secure and your your token will expire and the user can request again and again. The WAF. WAF is another level of security. Basically, it comes when your when your application is exposed to public, the user are accessing through internet. Now, there are some URLs, there are some service directory which do not require a public access. Okay, that you can disable using a WAF. You don't have to keep it all the service directory enabled. Okay. Second thing is the WAF will protect you from the external threats. Okay, like you have SQL injection, DDoS attack, etc. Especially from the pandemic, we have seen a lot of ransom attacks to the organization, right? So this WAF is a web application firewall. If your application is facing internet, it is recommended to use a WAF. Vulnerability assessment, as my colleague mentioned, ArcGIS server and portal will be periodically every month or whenever there is a vulnerability, they will release a patch. Similarly, there might be a patch for your Windows. Maybe your Windows is up to date, or maybe you are using any third-party software within the ArcGIS server. maybe that is also a vulnerable. So if you can run the vulnerability scan on your environment, which will give you a list of fix which you need to do to make your ArcGIS server or reporter machine secure. Penetration testing is another way of testing your application. Like reach testing will basically it will show you what are the vulnerable application ports are open from for your application which user is accessing publicly. Yeah, and then we have ArcGIS Trust Center. Anything, I mean, if you have any a question related to security or vulnerability, you can go ahead and raise a request with the ArcGIS Trust. They will respond to your request. Anything related to security or vulnerability kind of thing. This is the summary.